A small country on the fringes of Europe is in the midst of a major political crisis. After months of deadlock, Moldova finally managed to form a coalition government this weekend in the shape of an unlikely alliance between pro-Russian socialists and pro-European free marketeers. Its stated goal was clear: to oust the ruling Democratic Party and rid the country of corruption. But the Constitutional Court blocked those plans by appointing the outgoing Prime Minister as interim president and calling for fresh elections. Well, the former Soviet Republic is sandwiched between Romania, a member of the EU, and Ukraine. It has a population of just 3.5 million, is the poorest country in Europe, and is regularly criticised by the EU over corruption and the rule of law. Remarkably, both the EU and Russia have voiced their support for a new Moldovan government headed by Maia Sandu, a former World Bank executive and education minister. Well, earlier she told me her government was asking for a peaceful transfer of power and that it was appealing for the EU's help.
It's the future of the country that is at stake. It's the democracy of our nation. It's the European path of the country, if you want, because if this regime stays in power, then Moldova will be lost. People of Moldova have been leaving because they didn't see any future in this country, where the government was captured, where the state institutions were captured by a group of corrupt people, by some bandits, I would say. And now we really hope that the change is going to happen, and then people will regain their trust in the country, and then we will start building democracy. We will strengthen the state institutions, which will work for citizens and not for some corrupt people.
Now, your opponents say that your forming of this coalition came a day too late. It came after the period for negotiating had expired, and therefore the court was within its rights in putting a different government in place. What do you say to that?
This is not true. The decisions of the Constitutional Court are illegal, and we have actually addressed today the Venice Commission, the Council of Europe, and the European Commission to look into these decisions, because the law says clearly that we had 3 months before the Parliament could be dissolved, while the Constitutional Court decided to interpret the 3 months as 90 days, which is not the case. So we have the local lawyers saying that the voting that took place in the Parliament was perfectly legal, and now, of course, it's for the Constitutional Court to recognize its mistakes.
Amid this uncertainty, it's a very volatile situation. What's your message to the people of Moldova? There have been quite a few protests.
The people of Moldova have been waiting for a long time to regain their trust in the country, to regain their trust in the state institutions. They want to be free, because under the previous regime, they've been harassed. Some of them have had to leave the country. So now I want them to believe that freedom is coming and that we will do our best to ensure their democratic rights.